poppin' squad? Is your boy Jesimein. Welcome back to another build video. Now today I'm going to be releasing my DPS build that I've been using. I know a lot of people have seen the meta right now. It's vector crazy because it's an amazing build, and you didn't know what in the world else can actually at least compete with it. Well, today I have something that in my own experience has been doing me justice when I'm fighting this build and pretty much any other build in the game. And it relies on the fact that you're going to be a tank. Now, a lot of people who've played Division 1 know how powerful the tank meta was when you're able to put out DPS while staying alive, and I kind of brought that concept to the Division 2. If you saw the gameplay yesterday, you saw firsthand how crazy it is, where if you were able to activate it, which I'll explain in a minute, how much face tanking you can actually do and how much situations that you can actually survive, whereas in any other situation that you wouldn't have, or any other build. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, in order to make this build, like literally, like you can't make any way you want, right? I'm gonna give you your choice, but you want to have survivalist for a specific reason, and that specific reason is for the triage make it talent. Now, I know a lot of people, you know, they have their mains, they like their sharpshooter buffs and their demo buffs. That's fine. But survivalist for this build in particular is the best because it gives you straight DPS, because you get AR damage, and you get the access to the triage. And then what the triage is, when you pop a med kit, instead of giving you the armor immediately, it gives you it over time no matter what. And this is how you play the build. So let me explain the build and I'll show you how it works. So I am rocking a Gila mask with health on kill. In cooldown reduction, I don't really have a good talent activated right here. So whatever talent you have on your mask, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. The chest piece is going to be a Fenner's chest piece, assault rifle damage. You see I have all damage talents with Berserk and with Harden. Make sure you have Harden. Please make sure you have Harden in order to have the full capability of this build. I promise you it'll do you wonders. Going down to my holster, I have health on my holster with precise for the extra headshot damage. And as you can see, I'm rocking 2 Arali holdings, which give me headshot damage. This build is going to take somewhat of an aim in order for you to fully maximize it, because you're going to be relying on face tanking and focusing on the head because you have time to. Kind of like the same concept of my Captain America shield, where it was all headshot damage, and being that I was able to stay in their face long enough, I was able to land more headshots than I would had I been in a vulnerable situation. Going to my backpack, I have a Raldi Holdings backpack. As you can see, critical chance and bonus armor. Try to get armor anywhere you can on the build because you need to break that 210 cap-ish. That's how I feel. I feel like past 210 is where you start feeling like I can easily go up to 230 armor, but I'll lose damage, so I didn't want to do that. Okay, so this is where the build can change based off your preference. 99% of you who are running the Vector build have the Safeguard backpack already, so you're going to be able to use your Safeguard, whatever. I don't recommend Safeguard. Now, I haven't fully mid-maxed this build to exactly where my theory and where I want it at, but even as it is, it's ridiculous. But to make this build perfect, in my opinion, would be to have the talent called Efficient and have Hardened. So Efficient, using an armor kit, has a 50% chance to not consume the armor kit. Being that you're going to be using a lot of armor kits to do crazy face tank situations, I mean, you don't have to pop them whenever you want because you're tanky anyways. But the fact is if you want to do that crazy, I'm going to call it God mode push, you're going to want to use your med kit. And Efficient is the most optimal talent you can have on a backpack for med kits, obviously, because you get a 50% chance to not even consume it, which in essence can double your med kits. You know what I'm saying? So make sure, if you want to min-max this build in my concept to the fullest, try to have Efficient and Hardened. You can rock Safeguard. Safeguard works just as fine, and I'll explain why Safeguard works good too. But you will be giving up a lot of damage. Like, as you can see, just on my chest piece, I have 3 red slots, so I can't even have Safeguard on this build because I have 10 when I'm supposed to have 5 or less. So you lose a lot of damage all over the place if you run Safeguard. And being that you're using the AR, I would probably go full-fledged damage because it's based off health damage, which in essence is a counter to the Vectors, because the Vectors' strongest suit is when their armor is gone. They get to sit in that health bar back and forth. Being that you're using an AR, you're going to burn through that health way faster than they can heal, if you're hitting your headshots especially. So just putting that out there. Going to my gloves, I do have, now people are going to be kind of confused, I am rocking Overlord gloves. I know people are gonna like, why are you doing it? It's rifle damage. I'm not going for it. I mean, obviously, if I had God roll, I would have assault rifle damage on here as well. I have precise for the headshot damage, like I said. But the only reason I chose to opt for this Overlord is because I get 7.5% total armor, and that's really good because you can't get big chunks of armor off of gloves, and this is like kind of my way to get armor everywhere. So if I go down to my holster or to my knee pads, you can see right here bonus armor, and I get that 7.5% bonus total armor that goes up and pushes me over that 200k. So that's the concept of the build. Obviously, it's the tankiest you can possibly be. Don't care about health, okay? I promise you, this build is designed just how the Wiz' build is designed to be super, super strong in the health portion because you're tanky. Mine's the opposite, where it's going to be armor based and you stay away from your health. You want your health to be untouched as much as possible, which is why you're going to run these two setups right here. So I use a fixer drone, okay? Fixer drone, way cooler than defender drone. Destroy your defender drone. Don't ever use it again. Fixer drone, in my opinion, is way more optimal over time. One, because it lasts longer, and being that it doesn't have necessarily a threshold that gets broken like defender drone. Even if they're not shooting the defender drone, if they shoot at you enough, it'll end up breaking. Whereas fixer drone, they have to focus fixer drone in order to get it, or it's going to stay around for its whole duration, which, as you can see, my duration is 180 seconds. That is a long time to be healing, especially if you're running conflict and stuff when you get it back anyways, which, I mean, that's the only time defender will shine, because obviously if you die a lot, you get your defender right back. But overall, fixer drone is crazy with this, because if you do combo the fixer's heal with your med kit heal, you're pretty much untouchable, as you guys saw in the gameplay. And as a secondary, now this is where you can change. Now, being that this build is so tanky and you want to be on the move at all times because you want to be able to position yourself. Positioning is everything with this build. You have two choices. Either you can run Chem Launcher, or you can run the Healing Hive, where if you're in a situation, or not the Healing Hive, the Boost Hive, where if you're in a situation where you need to get out of there, especially if you're in 1v3 situations, put this down, run away, and you have enough time to pop that med kit. Once you pop that med kit and you come back, boom, you're back in action. And that's probably how I'm gonna end up running it, because I don't have time to sit there and drop my Chem Launcher when I'm trying to face tank most of the time. So either way, they can both work out, right? So that's depending on your preference, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Now, let me show you exactly how the build works. So being that let's say I'm in a gunfight or something, and I'll use this fire nade as an example of how strong it could be. As soon as I take an ounce of damage, I can pop a med kit. And as soon as I pop a med kit, my health goes up. And as you can see on the bottom left, that little indicator means it's still healing. So as long as that's still healing, no matter what health you're at, your armor kit's gonna basically just like give you like what a Chem Launcher would give you, minus the fact that you don't have to really worry about landing shots. Like with clutch, you have to land shots. You see right here, I did it again. With clutch, you have to land your shots to get your heal. With this, you're going to get your heal no matter what in that brief window, which is more than enough time to face tank. You can't do it from full health, which would be extremely overpowered. I'm glad that they didn't do it like that. But any amount of damage, even if they tickle you, which is real good. Let's say you're in a gunfight, and let's say you're about to exchange. Let them hit you once, and if they hit you once, pop that med kit, and then you push in with this, and you will not die. I promise you. With your fixer drone up too, there's no way you're going to die unless you're just absolutely getting focused by everybody, and that just the craziest combos got to happen. But as far as that, having your fixer drone up, that's going to be healing you no matter what health you're at. Obviously, if you even take one little hit, your fixer drone's going to start working, and as it's working, your med kit's going to be working. And if you're in the face of somebody, I mean, it's almost impossible for somebody to just burst you down through 200k plus, right? Obviously, your armor is going to be different. You might have better rolls than I do or whatever. Try to get your armor as high as possible with damage, of course. You can see my base damage 14.9. It's more than enough, as you guys saw, to burn through people. So if you can get a higher base damage, P416 or a better assault rifle, or even if you just can't let go of your vector and you want to use your vector with this build concept, that's fine. Do whatever you do. But remember, Fenris is the only one that gives you 2 talent, so it's preferred for you to use the AR. But anyways, going back to what I said, if you are going against a vector, especially like right now, the best advice I'm telling you is how to fight against vectors. Vectors don't have a crazy clip. With this med kit up, there is no way that I've seen so far. I've been bursted by two clips plus. There's no way that they're gonna burst through you with that one clip. Now, how to play it, my counter is when you're in a gunfight, obviously you want to put as much damage on them as possible. You want to cause them to be, get a little uncomfortable. You don't want them to be fully safe. But as soon as you know vectors are what, 40 mags or so, as soon as they're like halfway through their clip, you can bust the disrespectful move. That's what I call it. It's the disrespectful armor kit pop. Right in front of them, you can pop that kit. they're gonna look at you like, bro, like, oh, I'm about to beam on him. If they have to reload, if you time that reload perfectly and you get that kit off, no matter what they do that following clip and the clip after, if you're still wailing on them with your AR, there's no way they can kill you. I promise you, this is my word. Unless you're on PC, it could be different. If they're hitting straight headshots and they're just god tier ultimate, it's just not happening. As far as I've seen, even on PC, I can go as far as to say, if you have this rolled right and you time it the way I'm telling you, like if you go watch my gameplay, you will see specific situations. At full health, at full armor, when you pop that, if they barely touch you and you pop that med kit and you have your fixture out and you're dropping your chem right in front of them, there's nothing they can do to kill you unless they probably one-shot you with a sniper. And I'm not even sure if you can even do that anymore, especially come World Tier 5, when you're able to get the full version of this build that's going to be super tanky because we're going to have higher rolls. So for me, if you guys want to do that, that is going to be the best absolute way. The way I modded my AR, as I just did straight stability, and pretty much that's it. Accuracy on here, I didn't want to lose stability, so I mean, these two muzzles, who cares? So however you mod your weapon, that's to your preference, and that's how you, whatever you're comfortable with. But make sure you have an AR with Allegro, because you have to have some kind of fire rate compared when you're, especially going against a Vector. Now you're gonna burst through their armor no matter what. I mean, just the sheer fact that if you have a really nice Fenris chest, as you can see, mine's really good. I get critical hit damage, chance, and weapon damage with Berserk. Don't forget, remember, your Berserk's activated. It's almost gonna turn on and turn off all the time, because they're gonna try to burst through you. And by the time that they finally get 217,000 armor gone, your Berserk is full-fledged active. You got your heals, and you get to just rinse and repeat. And that's why I believe this build is super strong. As far as how you mod it, try to mod as much as you can. If you get lucky and you have really good defensive rolls, that's even better. I would rather, if I could have all defensive mods, I would have that. But if you do have some really good mods, you can see I have a 6% basically base damage that's going to be on my AR, because I have 1% weapon damage and 5% assault rifle damage. If you have stuff like that, put it on. Try to make your AR as strong as possible, because this is a tank build, but it bursts people, man. And if you've seen the gameplay, most of you who are on my channel, you saw yesterday's gameplay. If you haven't seen it, if you're, you need to see it for yourself. I posted a super lengthy video showcasing everything. I went against vectors, I went against shields, everything. So make sure you guys spec into this, try it out. And then hopefully, hopefully you're in a situation where you can feel like this can actually compete with the current meta, whatever it is. I'm not going to say what the meta is. I don't know what the meta is. I use too many builds to say that. So like I said, if you want to have a full, let's say you need to counter what's going on right now, which is the vectors, Ranger and Allegro are gonna be your best friend. Burst them from a distance. There's not much they can do about it. Keep your space. You're gonna be good. There's no way a Vector is going to beam you from AR range with 200,000 armor. I don't care. PC, nothing. There is no situation. So don't let anybody scare you out of that. Don't let any little try hard or whatever think that they can laser you from across the map. It's not going to happen with 200,000, with the fixer, with your chem, with your med kits. It's not happening. So keep your distance, play smart, use situational awareness, know and kind of get used to when to pop the med kit, because popping the med kit is like you're just how the NPCs pop their little drug that they go nuts and they're crazy. That's how this build. It's like the Sensu bean build. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it for myself. It's like a Sensu bean build. You pop that and you're good to go. So no matter what. So just want to put that out there for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Obviously my secondary is gonna be Chatterbox, because that's the best secondary holster talent in the game. I mean, that's bar none, no questions asked. And I did not need clutch on this build, and I don't even have safeguard. So all the gameplay you saw, that's without safeguard and without efficient. So what you saw can even be more buffed when you use your build and you put yours on, if you so happen to have a better backpack than I do. So I can't wait till I get efficient, because then basically that's all I need. I'm gonna have a surplus amount of med kits and I can just go crazy. And in situations when you're playing conflict and stuff, it's even better, because you're gonna get your med kits back if you end up dying anyways. But by the time you die, you should be able to go crazy. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Hope you guys enjoy, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. As I go through here, you can see my gear challenges, so you can get an idea where everything's coming from. Feel free to pause the video if this is like super important to you, but I'll go down right here real quick. So as you guys can see, I have no crit chance really, and I'm still lasering just because I have so much base damage on my AR. So just put that out there, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. 217,000 armor. I can easily go upwards, and I'll show you guys on my PvE version of this build how much higher I can go and like what it looks like later. But for the people who wanted to see my armor tank DPS build, here it is for you guys. So I love y'all, appreciate y'all, thank y'all so much for stopping by, man. And let me know what you guys think about this build below. And if you're an AR person, you're welcome. It's been real. Your boy is out.